So this question is, what strategy could you use to find sine of 0, cos of 0, tan of 0, sine of 270 degrees, cos of 270 degrees, and tan of 270 degrees without technology? So the key here is to look at what it's asking you for. So it's asking you for 0 and 270. Both of those are two of our special angles in degrees. And where we find those special angles is when we look at our unit circle. So a common strategy to use for numbers that are right on the edges of our unit circle, like 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, or 270 degrees, is to use our unit circle and its coordinates. So remember, this unit circle is like a little graph that's 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. So the coordinates of this point here, if I'm lying flat on that x-axis or at 0 degrees, are the coordinates 1, 0. If I was at 90, it would be 0, 1. If I was at 180, it would be -1, 0. And if I go all the way around to 270, it would be 0, -1. And these are just my x and y's for each of those. So now it's asking me, how do I find sine of 0? So sine of 0, remember, sine is actually asking you what is the y coordinate, whereas cosine is asking you what is the x coordinate. So this is really asking me, what is the y coordinate when I am sitting at 0 degrees? So if I'm at 0 degrees, I'm lying flat here, which means I'm looking at this point. What is the y coordinate? Well, my x comes first and then my y. So my y coordinate is 0. So sine at 0 degrees is just 0. Then it wants cosine at 0 degrees. So cosine, in other words, the x coordinate when I'm at 0 degrees, right here we can see is 1. So cos of 0 degrees is 1. Tan of 0 degrees, so 0 degrees, so I'm still at the same point. But remember that tan is just sine over cosine. So tan is always sine divided by cosine. In other words, my answer for sine divided by my answer for cos. So my answer for sine was 0, and my answer for cosine was 1. So 0 over 1. And 0 divided by 1 is just 0. So tan of 0 is 0. Now it asks me for sine, cos, and tan of 270. So I'll just quickly sketch that circle again. Remember, we're looking at 270, so we're all the way around here at 270. So the point here is 0, -1. My x is 0 and my y is -1. So if I'm looking for sine of 270 degrees, I'm looking for the y coordinate when I'm at 270. So here's where I'm at 270. My y coordinate is -1. If I want cosine of 270 degrees, I'm looking for the x coordinate when I'm at 270. So that means it is 0. And if I'm looking for tan of 270, remember, tan is sine divided by cosine, so -1 divided by 0. But remember, you can never have 0 on the bottom of a fraction. That is a problem, because if you have 0 on the bottom of a fraction, what you're saying is you are dividing for sure, but you're also dividing by nothing. So that just is a contradiction that doesn't make sense, which tells us that this right here is actually undefined. So your answer for tan of 270 is undefined. And sometimes we just show that as a U, so it's fine if you just use a U as well for those types of questions.